All right, and we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about. We talked about our WWE SmackDown preview. We also talked about my Thursday Night Wrestling review, where I jump into the world of Ring of Honor, also TNA Impact. We talk about all the major headlines there, kind of how the episode went, and kind of like where some of these superstars, in terms of momentum or storylines, or potential title matches, where they, kind of going to go next. So without further ado, we're going to jump on into our third segment. We're going to talk about our WWE Money in the Bank cash-in was wasted, absolutely wasted. But before we jump into that, I want to remind you guys to use the tips and donations link at the GSMCpodcast.net. Use that link right there. Be a part of the show. It really does help the show. Leave a positive review here at the GSMC Sports Network. We do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity. Ultimately, send it to chat. Tell me how you feel about professional wrestling, how you think SmackDown's going to go tonight. Maybe, what happened, how you think, so your reactions to certain things. How do you feel about how the Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in happened and was kind of wasted by the whole Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, but, make sure you hit up that, the GSMCpodcast.net. That'd be, absolutely awesome, 1,010%. Superman punch that like and subscribe button to the show and follow the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast and the Sports Network. All right. So recently we had our WWE Money in the Bank pay-per-view. A lot of the times this pay-per-view is marked in my calendar because I love it so much. I love to see who wins the briefcase. Love that anticipation of, oh my God, when are they going to cash it in? When are they going to cash it in? I always kind of think that they're going to cash it in at WrestleMania to pull off a Seth Rollins and stuff like that. But, sometimes that's not the case. So, yeah. So, kind of a breakdown of the match. It was a hellacious battle. Obviously, you saw Drew McIntyre get his hands raised, won the briefcase, and in the same night, cashed it against Damian Priest and Seth Rollins, making it a triple threat match. Drew McIntyre was going to win. He was right there. And then, of course, he happened. CM Punk comes out and he screws over Drew McIntyre for not the first time, not the second time, but the third time. I think the first one was at WrestleMania. The second time was at King of the Ring. And then, we have the third time at Money in the Bank. Crazy, crazy, crazy. The way they're pushing this is, it's kind of crazy. Did WWE waste the Money in the Bank briefcase? That's the question that I want to ask all you guys. Send in your answers inside the chat. So we can talk about it. I don't know, but we as the WWE universe, as wrestling fans, we don't get that lingering winner waiting for an impromptu title match anymore. We don't get that, it could happen at any time, you know what I mean? Which kind of sucks. I'm gonna definitely miss that, you know what I mean? WWE showed, a huge reason why I believe they're kind of developing concrete storylines with Cody Rhodes as well as Damian Priest. With the Money in the Bank briefcase kind of lingering around, I could see how WWE can't really sink their teeth into a storyline to last from like now, build it up all the way to WrestleMania or something like that, or WrestleMania season or the Royal Rumble. So I can imagine WWE kind of gave themselves a break. They're like, look, this is kind of beneficial. We, strengthen the feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And we can also kind of, sit down, have hardcore ideas, talks like that. This could help in terms of creativity. By all means, that could 1,010%. But, just that lingering Money in the Bank briefcase was, pretty awesome. Like I said, I feel like WWE's putting a lot of effort into this feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And the excitement of the Money in the Bank cash-in was essentially kind of sacrificed for CM Punk's and Drew McIntyre's feud, which, it's never really kind of happened like this before in Money in the Bank. Definitely nothing of this kind of caliber. Building up the match between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, probably happening at SummerSlam, probably going to be the main event, which is kind of crazy. But no, I don't know if it's going to be the main event. But WWE's trying so hard to push this feud, and I get it. I think it's pretty awesome. I loved how CM Punk is still kind of like that anti-hero, where he's not really seen as a babyface, he's not really seen as a heel. So then sometimes he does something or say things that we're like, yeah, or sometimes he does vice versa. And we're like, dude, what did this guy just say? Like, dude, why is he back in the WWE? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't know. Drew McIntyre obviously is going to be absolutely irate. Didn't really see anything really pop off on on Monday Night Raw because I don't think he was I don't think Drew McIntyre was there because he's quote unquote suspended indefinitely. So next week he's going to be he's going to talk to Adam Pearce, and it's just like seeing he was Adam Pearce asked CM Punk not to come to the arena so they can kind of work work out a business and stuff like that. You saw Drew McIntyre elbow the Raw general manager in the face, kind of crazy. But it was a little dirty, to be honest. It was a bit naughty, but it's cool. It was cool. So something I kind of wanted to talk about also is SmackDown. SmackDown, I feel like ultimately kind of got snubbed in terms of this because you had superstars that are by all means ready to kind of get pushed, kind of ready to reach the next level in their kind of like in their careers. Like you still had Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens was still there. He could still, be a pretty dynamite holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase. You could have saw LA Knight, although they're building up LA Knight and Logan Paul for SummerSlam. Would have been interesting to see him winning the Money in the Bank, and I know that'd be kind of just it'd be different. Andrade once again being kind of shoved around by WWE right now. WWE, he's been having success on speed and winning his matches on SmackDown, but just it seems like there's just like a lack in his character. Like obviously he's gonna be involved into something that includes perhaps in the future against Logan Paul. That would be pretty awesome to see. Carmelo Hayes, I get it. He's a young guy, recently got drafted to WWE SmackDown from NXT. Imagine if he would have won the champ or the briefcase. It would have absolutely skyrocketed his career and would have kind of ensured the future for like a young superstar. You know what I mean? But I could see when in terms of the inexperience level when he botched that promo with the LA Knight about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Can't remember. But he has that attitude. He has that it factor in him that, once when he talks or when he talks mess, it gets under people's skin. It 1,010% gets the fans involved. Whenever he's on the screen, you kind of look, you're like, dude, oh shit, oh crap, it's Carmelo Hayes. It's crazy. It's the man. He is him. It's crazy. So it would have been interesting to see him win the briefcase. Would have been awesome. And just another thought, just to kind of finally get this Judgment Day Civil War thing going. Well, not Civil War, but kind of like the breakup going. The Raw has been teasing it throughout, the past couple of months with the whole Liv Morgan thing, infiltrating, Judgment Day. I honestly don't think they, obviously they couldn't have prepared for Rhea Ripley getting injured. Rhea Ripley getting injured. Maybe they kind of had a different way, but once when she got injured, we're like, okay, we're gonna change something. It would have been interesting to see Finn Balor make it in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Would have been cool to kind of see him cash in on Damian Priest or something like that. And then, Damian Priest gets victimized by JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion Finn Balor. That would have been pretty awesome. Kick him out entirely. But, obviously we didn't get a chance to see that. I thought that would have been pretty awesome. And, people still kind of advocating for Jey Uso. Jey Uso still kind of left out there. Recently, I read a report that Jimmy Uso is cleared to compete in WWE right now. I don't see them really reuniting anytime soon. But I don't know how, close they're going to start pushing. Roman Reigns coming back, Solo Sikoa becoming the new tribal chief, winning the WWE Undisputed Championship, because I feel like since Roman was the champion for so long as the tribal chief, if you're the tribal chief and you don't have a championship, I can't really take you seriously. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry, dog. Sorry, Solo. But there's so many different ways this Money in the Bank briefcase, this match could have been better. 1,010%. All right, and kind of wrapping this up, just to kind of pay respects in the women's division. You saw Tiffany Stratton win the Money in the Bank briefcase. She's Mrs. Money in the Bank. I think that was a smart move by WWE. I thought it was great. They're still, pushing her despite all the negative, all the turmoil surrounding her social media and stuff like that. Um, you know, kind of crazy, not condoning any actions, not saying, but she's in WWE right now. Even Triple H kind of like said, like, look, we're not, we're gonna address it at a certain at a certain time. You know what I mean? But we're still, we're still pretty invested into Tiffany Stratton. So I know she has a great attitude for a heel. She's very smart at pulling the strings of the WWE universe, getting the fans involved, getting them kind of pissed off. You have your Tiffany Stratton lovers, you have your Tiffany Stratton kind of haters, and I don't know. I just feel like, especially with the women's brand on WWE SmackDown, you kind of need someone with a little more pop. Bailey, she's, I don't want to say she's a transitional champion, but when for this whole WWE Women's Championship run has been kind of, not really that entertaining, not really kind of like in your face and stuff like that. Obviously, I do think that's going to change whatever happens at WWE SummerSlam. If Nia Jax wins, if Bailey wins, like this, this could be big. This could be big for Tiffany Stratton. She could definitely cement her name as one of the most popular familiar faces, the new blood of professional wrestling. Once again, WWE pushing those young stars in the women's division, would be awesome. Stars injured. We have, Charlotte Flair, Asuka. We also have Alexa Bliss and a couple others. And obviously Becky Lynch, she's not injured, but she's taking time away from professional wrestling. So, the women's division on WWE still kind of, I feel like that's the reason why they are kind of hinting at Bianca Belair, maybe Jade Cargill like break up, so they can finally push for the singles run. I think they would be amazing in terms of that. So, yeah, that was my opinion about the Money in the Bank briefcase cash in. It was ultimately sacrificed to put over the feud between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know if you think the Money in the Bank briefcase cash in was wrong. Let me know, give me a spicy take of who you think should have won the briefcase, and yeah, let's have fun with this. All right, guys. Well, do not go anywhere. Our fourth segment, we're going to jump on into the John Cena retirement tour. We're going to talk about it, kind of analyze it a little bit. And I'm going to give you guys, my predictions on how I think it's all going to kind of unfold. So, hey, do not go anywhere.